Yo, what's going on YouTube? And in today's video, we'll be going over our predictions for the tier list coming up for the OP10 meta, not the OP11. In OP11, we can very clearly see what's doing very, very well over there. Currently, Blue Purple Luffy is just taking off. It looks like it's a pretty good deck. I'm super excited about that one as well. But let's just get into this here video real quick as we go over our predictions for the OPO10 leaders and what we think is going to be the meta for OPO10 and what we're going to have to expect from. So let's just go ahead and go down, down, down. Let's start with some of these newer guys. Let's see if BY Luffy does not get hit, where does he go? He's definitely going to not go into the trash category. That's for damn sure. He's definitely still up there. In my personal opinion, he's still really, really high on the tier list. I think that BY Luffy is very, very good. I think that in the upcoming meta, he's still going to be a top dog, at least over here in the West. Depending on our ban list, is going to determine if he is as good as he was or if he's just buns now. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see with the upcoming meta. Then we have Purple Luffy. Purple Luffy is not going to get a whole lot of support. I think he's still pretty good. I think he's still a little lackluster. I think he just has issues. I'm not really sure what his issues are, but Purple Luffy definitely just struggles. He struggles with trying to get higher in his tier. He just does. He's super good leader. Just cannot make the cut. Moving forward, I want to talk about, let's see, so who are some of our oldies but goldies. We got Boa Hancock. I think that Boa Hancock is actually in a good position. I think that Boa Hancock is going to be a solid leader coming up here in the next meta. I think it's a pretty decent leader. Pretty good at what she does. Just the off-brand Dofi, not as powerful as Dofi, but if Dofi does get hit, I think that'll be the premier blue leader, the blue mono leader that everyone plays coming up here in the future. Then we have some of these other decks. I really want to put my boy Ace up there on the map. You know what I'm saying? It's that big old A tier. But we're gonna have to wait until OP. I think OP11. Yeah, OP11 is where Ace really, I think, gets his time to shine. We got this Smoker deck. In my personal opinion, I think the Smoker deck is pretty good. I think it's gonna be one of the high A tier decks. Is it A plus? I don't know. We're still gonna have to see, but I definitely think it's an A deck. I've been play testing this deck only for about a day now, and I really enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy this leader. I think it's super good, super clean, very much able to do a lot of what you want him to do. We've got Eustace Captain Kidd coming up here pretty soon. This is some of the new OPO10. Eustace Captain Kidd is actually a pretty good leader. I think we can put him up there with the high A tier. Definitely a really solid leader. Really good. Super clean effect for just being able to do what the kid can do. Create blockers. You know what I'm saying? Just a really just generically good leader with a generically good effect too. Like, just being able to make more cards blockers it's just super effective. Why would you not want to do that? Flip a life face up. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really good. All right, and we're moving forward. Some of our other leaders here. I think that Rob Lucci is actually in a pretty good spot as long as, like, Gecko doesn't get hit super hard. I think that Rob Lucci is actually still a very good leader. I think that one of the things that keeps Rob Lucci from being any better than what it actually is actually just Teach. But aside from Teach, I think that Rob Lucci is just a very good leader, very solid to play into this new format that we got coming up here in the OPO10 West meta. Speaking of, where in the heck is Teach? Because I definitely he's got to go on this tier list. Here we go. Teach is definitely one of those premier leaders. Definitely the leader you're gonna have to look out for. Definitely stronger than all heck. Definitely A plus for anybody who knows how to pilot Teach. He is definitely going to be a contender for top meta spot in the new upcoming meta. Definitely one of the top dogs. Of course, one of the other top dogs we got is Blue Dofi. Where's our Blue Dofi? Where's our Blue Dolphy? Let's find Blue Dolphy. Maybe he's just already banned. You know what I mean? Maybe they just didn't put him on this tier list because, he just needs to get the actual F out of here. Blue Dolphy, Blue Dolphy. Am I blind? Hold on, I see Blue Dolphy. I see Purple Dolph. Purple Dolphy. All right, we're gonna skip Blue Dolphy because I'm blind. I can't see him. He should have been up here somewhere in this first couple of sets. But here we go. Blue Dolphy. There he is, baby. Found him. So Blue Dolphy is also going to go into our A tier. We want to put him into trash, but it is what it is. He's just still here, and as long as he isn't unbanned, he's still just a very phenomenal leader. Still very strong, still very hard to deal with. Moving forward, we do have Bonnie. Bonnie still being a very good leader in the OP10 meta, and with the support that Bonnie gets, Bonnie's just going to be a little bit harder for everybody to deal with. Just being a green leader, just being the premier mono green leader, super effective for just resting bodies, clearing out boards and stuff like that. I want to put this in I almost want to put it up here. My personal opinion, I think Bonnie does need to go into the A plus because she's just a really good generically green leader that just does everything you need it to. But realistically, she does have some issues against some decks. Uh, So we're going to give her the high A. The high A is just mostly just because, some of these other leaders really just kind of sort of cuff Bonnie, just kind of sort of keep her from doing what she wants to do. And then we're going to move forward. I think that in the OP10 meta, if we do get Sakazuki, I still think that Sakazuki is going to be, he's not going to be nearly as powerful as he once was. I'll tell you that. We can put him in the B tier if he does. If Sakazuki does come back, I think he's going to be a B tier leader. Don't think that he has what it takes to be able to continue to compete in the current meta. I think that he's still a good leader. Bottom decking still very strong, but I think one of Sakazuki's biggest problems is Sakazuki has a very big issue with defending itself. So if you just go wide enough against Sakazuki, then you just get it in. And moving forward, we have Shanks. Shanks, in my personal opinion, is not a very good leader. I think that Shanks gets carried by a lot of cards, but over here in the West, Shanks sees a lot of popularity. I personally think that he's a B tier leader, but what do I know? We're gonna put him in the A tier. I wouldn't put him in the high A tier. I put him in just the A tier because he's just a decent leader. I think that if we more so figure out how to play Shanks, it's just not as decent as a leader. We got Lim here. Lim coming up in the new OP08 meta is actually, or OP010 meta, I'm sorry, is actually a pretty decent leader. Pretty decent leader with pretty decent effects. Very versatile, very good. Can very much swarm out of nowhere. The Odyssey support that this card gets is really going to help take this card to the next level. I personally think that this is going to be a really good leader. I think Arlong is a sleeper deck too. I think that people need to just be careful of Arlong. We're going to put him in the high B tier, or in the B tier. You're going to put him in the high B because I think generically good. Just with all of the support coming out, I think that once somebody figures out how to play this leader, he's just going to be a powerhouse. Because if you want to think about it, Doflamingo is a leader that pulls characters from the top of the deck. Gecko Moria is a leader that pulls them from the trash, and Arlong is a leader that pulls them from the hand. So I think that, obviously Gecko Moria had his time to shine, and Blue Dolphy obviously had his time to shine. I think Arlong is going to be the next leader who just generically is just good like that. I think that Arlong is the one that suffers the most because he takes the most from you. Taking a card from hand, it's not as powerful as taking it from trash or top of the deck because you're not losing hand advantage, but still very good for all the cards that you can play off of that leader ability. I think that once again somebody figures him out. He's gonna come in swinging. He's gonna come in strong. We got the new Caesar. I think he's just really just a C tier leader. Maybe once we get a little bit more support for Caesar, we can say a little bit more about Caesar. I also think that this carrot, I'm sorry, the the sugar. I think sugar is just a little lackluster. Sugar just needs something else. I don't think she's just quite there yet. You know what I mean? I think she's just kind of sort of just not there. She just needs her a little bit more support before she can actually become a good or viable leader. And then we've also got Bello Betty. Bello Betty starting to slowly creep its way up into the high Bs. It's actually starting to see a lot of. A very good leader, very solid. I think that after OP11, it actually can move up to the A tier. But we're gonna have to see once that time comes. We have Usopp, a very good leader. Generically, just good for Dressrosa, good for being able to do swinging and board control and everything else that Usopp wants to do. The only problem with Usopp is that Usopp requires to see stage. I think that's the biggest issue for Usopp. If you don't see that stage, you're just gonna get snowballed out of the game, and that's just how it works with Usopp. So we're gonna put him in the high B tier. I think that once again, hold on, we're gonna move him actually over here, be in front of Sakazuki because he is just better than Sakazuki. I think that he's just another one of those leaders who just needs a little bit more, and he will be God Usopp without question. But we're gonna go ahead and move forward a little bit further. We're gonna say that in the LPO meta, Sanji, I think, is a sleeper deck. I think Sanji is really just that deck that once he gets going, he's super clean. I'm gonna put him in the C tier. I think that he's a good C tier leader. I think that if somebody can figure out control Sanji, I think that this is actually a pretty good leader. Very good for eliminating cards off a board, controlling the board, just doing a lot of roundabout really good shit. You know, it's just a really good leader, really good leader. Anel is the B tier. It just does not have what it needs. It's just Anel is just a very annoying leader. He's a solid leader, yes, but I think that once the meta figures out Anel, then he just falls right back down to the wayside. He reliably play at the start of the meta because he's good. But as the meta progresses and as everybody starts to learn their decks, he just slowly starts to fall down to the wayside. And moving forward, we have the Oldie Bagodi. We have Law. I actually am going to be putting this Law in the A tier. It's not a biased opinion. I just think that this is a very good leader. I think that he's underexplored and he's super strong. Once we figure out Law as a leader, I think that he's just going to be a generically good leader, just super powerful, super clean, able to just do so much. He's the way that after all the stuff came out to start getting rid of one drops and whatnot, this is the way that we wanted him to work after. Like the first Law is still very good. But the fact that you have to build such a board with him makes it very difficult to get off of him. The fact that you don't have to build a board as much with the green-yellow makes him just a little bit more effective. Again, I think this is just a sleeper leader. I think he's really good. My personal opinion, I put him in the A plus tier because I think that it's just a very good leader, very difficult to defeat, especially once you get to those higher dawn turns. He just becomes a powerhouse. We got Red Purple Luffy here. Red Purple Luffy also another good leader. We're gonna put Red Purple Luffy in the high B tier. Maybe when something else comes out, we can go ahead and put him a little. Oh, what are you doing down there, brother? You do not belong in that category. I think that once something comes out to help this leader out a little bit more, then he is going to go up. I think with the release of the new purple and blue, I think that does help him a little bit because he does get some cards that also work with him, but there's also some cards he's unable to use. Just kind of sort of unfortunate, but still a very good leader. Still just needs that little bit of oomph for him to be super clean, super good. As far as like a meta breakdown, that's it for the top dogs that we're going to be seeing. The rest of these can be delegated as necessary, but let's face it, for the majority, most of the rest of these leaders are all in the B to trash category. So I'm not going to categorize these. If these are some of your favorite leaders, by all means, you can put them wherever you like. I think Isho, I would personally put Isho in the high B tier because I'm a big fan of Isho. I would personally put Ace in the high B tier because I'm a big fan of Ace. Ace is another one of those leaders who's just looking for that oomph. Once he gets that oomph, then he's going to take off. I think it's a very powerful leader. I think that once the release of the Brothers comes out, we'll know a little bit more about Ace and his power. But that's going to be for all the Brothers. But like again, it's just my personal opinion for how the new meta is going to shape out, how we're going to be seeing things. These are going to be the big dogs of the meta, the hardest ones to compete and play against are going to be these guys here because they're just still running the format. They're still just very good, generically amazing leaders. And yeah, that's just my opinion on things. So, you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.